You typed the message. You read it back. You deleted it. You typed it again, softer this time. Added an emoji so nobody could possibly be upset with you. Then you stared at the ceiling at 2 in the morning, replaying a conversation from 3 years ago. Sound familiar? Yeah, me too. Now here's the strange part. 100 years ago, a psychologist named Alfred Adler figured out why we do this. And his answer is so uncomfortable that 2 Japanese writers, Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga, wrote an entire book just arguing about it. Not explaining it. Arguing about it. The book is one long fight. It goes like this. There's a philosopher living on the edge of an old city. Word is, he teaches something outrageous, that the world is simple and anyone can be happy, starting today. And there's a young man who hears this and gets angry because his life doesn't feel simple. He hates his job. He compares himself to everyone. He can't leave the house without wondering what people think of him. So one night he marches up to the philosopher's study to destroy this smug old man's theory. He stays 5 nights. This video is those 5 nights. Oh. Night 1. The young man opens with his best punch. I am who I am because of my past. My childhood, my failures, the way people treated me. That made me this way. You can't just choose to be happy. And the philosopher says, no, you have it exactly backwards. He says most people believe the past pushes us, like a line of dominoes. Trauma happened, so now I'm anxious. Adler says something else. We're not pushed by the past, we're pulled by a goal. The anxious feeling isn't a leftover from your past. It's something you're using right now because staying home feels safer than being judged. The book calls it teleology. You can call it this. Your excuses have a job, and the job is protecting you. The young man is furious. Honestly, so was I the first time. Because if the past doesn't control us, then the excuse expires. In their own words, no matter what has occurred in your life up to this point, it should have no bearing at all on how you live from now on. Sit with that one. It's not saying your past didn't hurt. It's saying it doesn't get a vote anymore. Night 2. The young man tries a new angle. Fine, but I'm still miserable. I'm not good-looking enough, not smart enough, not successful enough. The philosopher asks him one question. Not good enough. Compared to whom? And this is where the book plants its flag. In their own words, all problems are interpersonal relationship problems. All of them. Every insecurity you have needs an audience to exist. Alone in the universe, you couldn't be behind. Behind whom? You couldn't be unattractive. Says who? The feeling of being less than isn't a fact about you. It's a measurement, and a measurement needs someone else's ruler. Here's the lesson, and it lands early because it should. You don't actually feel inferior. You feel compared. And you're the one holding the ruler. The philosopher isn't saying ambition is bad. Adler was fine with wanting to grow. The trap is when life becomes a competition. Because in a competition, other people stop being people. They become rivals, judges, threats. That's why crowds exhaust you. That's why other people's good news stings for half a second before you're happy for them. If everyone's a judge, life is one long courtroom. The young man protests, but I am judged. My parents wanted a different life for me. My boss ranks me. Everyone expects something. Night 3 answers that. Night 3. The philosopher gives him a tool. It's the most practical thing in the book, and you can use it before this video ends. It's called the separation of tasks. Every problem in your life belongs to someone. And there's one question that sorts it. Who ultimately experiences the consequence? Whether you study is your task. Whether your parents approve of your career, their task. Whether you write the book is your task. Whether people like the book, not your task. Not ever. You literally cannot control it. And everything you cannot control is, by definition, somebody else's homework. The young man asks the question you're asking. So I should just let people think whatever they want about me? And the philosopher says, yes, that's exactly what freedom is. In their own words, freedom is being disliked by other people. Not freedom is being liked despite the haters. Freedom is the being disliked part. If nobody dislikes you, it means you have sanded off every corner of yourself to fit every room. You've been paying for approval with your own life. Someone disliking you is proof, the book says, that you're exercising your freedom. It's the receipt. And right here is the lesson. Recognition is a debt you can never finish paying. The moment you live for approval, you've handed strangers the steering wheel. And strangers are terrible drivers. If this is hitting home, the 2 a.m. message rewriting, the deleted posts, the career you picked for an audience, this is the night of the book that's about you. Night 5. The young man has one question left, and it's the honest one. If I stop competing and stop performing, what's left? Who am I even doing anything for? The philosopher's answer: you trade being special for being useful. Stop trying to stand above people. Vertical relationships, ranks, ladders. Build horizontal ones. Not, am I better than you? But what can I add? The book's word for the feeling you get is community feeling. The quiet sense that you belong somewhere because you contribute to it. Not because you impressed it. Contribution doesn't need applause to work. That's the whole point. Applause is other people's task. And then the philosopher says the thing the young man has needed for 5 nights. You don't need to be special. You need what he calls the courage to be normal. Normal is not failure. Normal is what your life looks like when you stop performing it and start living it. In their own words, the important thing is not what one is born with, but what use one makes of that equipment. The young man walks home at dawn. Nothing about his life changed that night. Same job, same face, same past. And everything changed because the courtroom in his head adjourned. So, the one line this book is remembered by, the one that named it. In their own words, the courage to be happy also includes the courage to be disliked. Here's your first step, and it's small. Today, one time, when you catch yourself rewriting a message for the 3rd time, send the 2nd draft. That's it. One task returned to its rightful owner. And read the actual book. It's 5 nights of a young man saying everything you've ever argued at the ceiling at 2 a.m. and losing beautifully, one argument at a time. This was the story. The book is the fight. Told, not taught. See you in the next one.